Drew Lock and Dwayne Haskins? More like dog and pony. 9 News insider Mike Klis is holding firm to his belief that the Denver Broncos will not select the quarterback with their first-round pick in next month's NFL draft. He loosely reported Wednesday it would be a surprise if the team went that route, eschewing a blue-chip defensive stud. Flacco is their guy and the team has too many other starter needs, he wrote. Klis immediately hedged his bet, muddying the scenario with what-ifs. However, it also would be a surprise if the Broncos didn't take a quarterback before the draft concludes, he added. Then again, you never know with Broncos general manager John Elway, especially when the draft is still 5 weeks away. Don't miss any breaking news or in-depth analysis on the Broncos. Sign up for our free newsletter, and get every breaking story delivered to your inbox. This probably sourced information comes after the Broncos scheduled pre-draft visits with Missouri's Lock and Ohio State's Haskins, and before general manager John Elway resigned 2018 backup Kevin Hogan. And it echoes what Klis floated after the scouting combine, that a day 1 QB for Denver is unlikely. After the combine and free agency, the Broncos will have 30 additional personal visits at the team headquarters between late March and early April, he wrote on March 1st. It would be a surprise if Haskins and Lock, who most fit Elway's QB profile, are not brought in for interviews at the UC Health Training Center. But with the Broncos acquiring Flacco in a trade and possibly wanting Case Keenum to take a pay cut in demotion to backup quarterback, it's unlikely Elway will use his No. 10 pick on a quarterback. He added, maybe later in the Jarrett, Stidham, Will Grier rounds. Keenum never took a pay cut. Instead, he was dealt to the Washington Redskins in a salary dump, paving the way for Flacco to assume his job. Which brings us to present times, with Elway throwing a hyperbolic amount of support behind 34-year-old Flacco now stepping into his prime, according to the Duke of Denver. I think that, again, getting a guy that I believe at 34 years old, as you're talking about, is still very young at the position that he's playing, Elway said on March 15th. He's got a lot of experience, still has all the tools to make the throws, and so, it really turned out to be a perfect situation for us. We're glad it worked out. Keeping consistent with their best player available mindset, the Broncos have set themselves up to go in a variety of directions on draft day, QB, CB, TOL, DL, DB, etc. They'll perform due diligence, after ignoring most passers at the combine, but whomever is Elway's highest-rated player will hear his name called. I think that our philosophy has always been to try and take care of the glaring holes in free agency, so we're open to something in the draft, he said. We don't have to draft a need, we can draft a football player. It opens us up quite a bit. We feel like there are a lot of good football players at 10. We'll get through this free agency period, and once we get back in April, we'll start working on the draft and the draft board. We feel like this gives us a lot of different options with that 10th pick, as well as the 2nd and 3rd. We're at the top of those rounds, so we feel like there are a lot of good football players that will be there to help us. At this point, and I'm leaving. Open the possibility for a smokescreen, a mid-round prospect, Stidham, Grier, Brett Rypien, appears likelier to don Broncos blue than a top-shelf, non-generational talent hailing from a historically weak class.